John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing a broadhead that I tested a long time ago, but it's been a bit updated, and the company has changed names. Same guys, same broadheads and stuff, but they've changed names. It was Vector, and then it was Method, and then now it's Contact Archery. So I've tested their MD3 last year, and you can check out that video. It's a 3-blade, solid, incredible broadhead. Please check that out if you haven't seen it already. And today I'm going to be testing the VBS. You know, their broadheads perform so well, I reached out to them and asked if I could get a discount code just to pass on savings to you, and they gave me one. So Lusk10 will save you 10% on any order. And for the testing, I'm using my process for 2025. And for a detailed description of that, please check out the video I posted earlier this year called 2025 Broadhead Test Process, and it'll walk you through all of it. And for the shooting, I'm using my Elite compound bow that I'm loving, and I'm using Killer Instinct crossbows. Okay, let's zoom on in here. Oh, I forgot. I normally use Bishop archery arrows, but with this specific broadhead, they don't fit because there's a blade over shaft design. So I'm using actually the Vector, which is now Contact Archery. I'm using their arrow, and it fits perfectly with this, I guess, by design. So let's zoom on in here and check out this broadhead and then put it to the test. This is a really nice looking broadhead. Man, these are super well made, well constructed. Really glad they're back on the market. So let's go through, first of all, the materials. It's all stainless steel, 440C stainless steel, which is really a high quality steel. The blades are 0.058 inches thick, both the main blade and the bleeders. That's really thick. So I like that. That's just going to aid in durability as well as opening up a nice wound channel that's going to be hard to close. The cutting diameter is 1 1/4 inches this way and 7/8 of an inch this way. So a total cut of 2 1/8 inches. But this bleeder can be replaced with another bleeder that instead of being 7/8 of an inch is 1 1/8 inches. So it adds an extra 1/4 inch to the total cut. That's kind of nice that you have that modularity based on your setup and what you're hunting. Then you'll also notice that it's got this concave design to both of all the blades, these blades as well as these bleeders, and that's just going to aid in the efficiency of the cut. And you'll see that the edges of these blades don't come to a really narrow point. They're kind of like chopped off, both the bleeder and these main blades. That's just going to aid in durability. That's usually a real weak point. Those tips, when they're sharpened on each side, they come to a really narrow tip and they easily break off. Similarly, the tip here is pretty stout. You notice how wide it is, that Tanto style tip, just to give it extra durability. Now another thing you'll notice is this blade over shaft design. The blades go over the end of the arrow here, and so the total length of this extending beyond the end of the arrow is just over an inch, like 1.1 something inches, so pretty short overall. That's going to help the spine to stay the same as it would with your field points. It's a pretty short broadhead overall. But one thing that is a challenge here is you got to make sure that your arrow is not too thick, that it doesn't fit in this very tight, narrow gap. I had to use these arrows, I have these arrows that fit, just barely fit in there, but my crossbow bolts and all my other arrows have a collar on them that it just wouldn't fit. I couldn't use them with this. So thankfully I had some of these arrows back up made by Vector Archery, okay, that's now Contact Archery, and so I can use them perfectly with this. And in terms of resharpening, what I would use is the Stay Sharp Guide C kit. That's perfect for any concave or convex curved blades like this. Otherwise, they can be really hard to sharpen, but with that Stay Sharp Guide C kit, it really does a great job with them. Really eager to put this head to the test and see how it performs. The VBS got the solid 9 ring. It only took 122 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is a 10 on a 10-point scale, plus a bonus for being under the threshold of 200. It penetrated 8 inches. It took an additional 76 grams of force to cut through the wire, which is an 8.48 on a 10-point scale. But since both of the scores for the sharpness and the edge retention were under the threshold of 200, they get an extra bonus. That's a new thing for this year. It penetrated through 61 layers, which is an 8.71 on a 10-point scale. And that's pretty good for having the cut size that it does. It's in perfect shape after the 3 shots through the MDF. You can't even tell it's been shot. And it's still in perfect condition after the 2 shots through the steel plate. The edges didn't chatter at all. And then you can see the holes. Those are really nice holes. You can see how thick the blades are, and you see that cutting diameter as well. Really opens up a nice wound channel. So here it is after all the durability testing. I mean, just did excellent through the MDF and the steel plate. Couldn't even tell, really, it had been shot. And the cinder block, it penetrated very deeply. I mean, the blades went in super deep, but the ferrule got a hefty crack in it right there, and it caused that bleeder to be loose. But otherwise, did well in durability. So what'd you think? Man, it performed really well, didn't it? I mean, it really wasn't a flat side. I love the fact that you can add a different bleeder and make an even wider cut if your setup generates enough momentum. My only drawback is that blade over shaft design. You got to have a narrow enough shaft to fit in there. The normal arrows that I use don't fit. A crossbow bolt doesn't fit. That's the only drawback. But if you have an arrow that can slide in there and fit well, then it really is a broadhead worth checking out. You check out the score sheet and see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most. And check out the video description. You click on the title and it'll go through, I mean, every single score and bonus and everything, how it got the score that it did. I'm also going to post the cumulative score coming up soon and the corresponding Lusk grade, as well as a list of all the discount codes that I can offer just to help you save some money. There's quite a few, including the one for Contact Archery. Lusk 10 will save you 10%. Hey, thanks so much for watching again. I look forward to seeing you next time.